Does your business need a website anymore? Can't we just publish our details on Facebook and even use it to sell products directly? With so much of our communication already happening on social platforms, it makes sense to move over your brand presence as well. Or does it? Here's an extract from a conversation with Ben Wheeler in which we discuss the role of websites in marketing and ask, are they diminishing in favour of social business pages? I think you'll like this one. I'm intrigued by how people perceive websites nowadays, because a lot of people I speak to, maybe their first foray onto the web in terms of promotion is via something like Facebook or an Instagram page or Twitter. If you're lucky, certainly younger people, they're going to go straight onto Instagram. And that is their presence. That is where they want to drive people towards. That is where they're doing putting all of their energy. In some cases, with Facebook, you can have your product list and people can buy online there. So it's actually taking over some of those things that would naturally fall to a website. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on the role of websites in the way businesses work nowadays.
I think it's very much depending on the size of the business and who the target audience is. Yeah, I mean, I do feel very strongly that a website should always be the core of your marketing activities, because it comes back to this ownership thing that you should be. But if you go to the right suppliers, you've got the right team around you, you own your website, you're in control of that. However, yesterday morning I was at a breakfast networking thing. I hadn't been for a long time, but I was chatting to one of the roofers there, and he was like, I don't bother with my website anymore. He just puts stuff on Facebook, his friends recommend him. That's where all of his business comes from. It's the modern word of mouth, isn't it? It's people asking for recommendations on Facebook, tagging a friend, and then you can message them directly. And I think that is a massive, massive shift away from websites for certain industries and certain sizes of business. Over the years, then that changed so that you would jump onto Google or go onto Yale. But social media's kind of come over that now, I think, and certainly for those kind of businesses, social media is a stronger position than a website. And a lot of it comes down to content, I think, because the hardest part, you'll know, of launching a website is getting the content together, and saying
or wrangling the client to get the content together.
Saying, what, we do need a picture of you and that roof that you've repaired. I'm a roofer, and here's a picture of my van is not enough for a 5-page website. People, if on a website, people want to see case studies, examples, testimonials, lots of pictures. I mean, this guy yesterday was doing his 10-minute BNI presentation. And he bought with him like 500 photos for a 5-minute slot, and he got through about 80 of them. Interestingly, just looking at his photos made me think, oh, you know what? My roof is actually coming to end of life. I could see from the photos he'd taken how good a job he'd done, and I thought, I'll give him a shout. I've seen the work, and actually, it's that visual medium that if you go to a website, then there's not going to be enough good quality content on there. But on Facebook, Instagram, platforms like that, they can just upload pictures from their phone. It's much faster, it's much easier. We're used to that.
You're absolutely right. It comes down to that content management. And that's one of the reasons I've had from people, because we do a lot of just general consulting. I work with Fastershire in Herefordshire and Gloucestershire, the Fastershire sort of scheme to provide free support for businesses. And a lot of what I hear is that it's just easy. As you say, you can do it from your phone, you can take a photo and post it there and then. You don't have to go and your big computer and log in or try and find the details for it, because it's in a medium that you're already in, maybe personally. It's just one step to the business side. And for our local kickboxing group, they have a website, sure. And that's actually how I found them first, because maybe being of a slightly older generation, I'm sort of one of those people who are in between, that's where I look first on Google. But actually, it's their Facebook presence where all the photos from every single session get put up, all the silly videos that they make, all the conversation, that's where it all happens. And it certainly does work very well for a local organisation or business.
Take that kickboxing example. I think once you're part of it, you would follow the Facebook page and you would be engaged. But that initial one, are you going to go onto Google and go kickboxing clubs near me? Therefore, kind of going from there to a website or to a directory listing. But then once you're on board with them, then social media takes over. I think we're going to see more and more of the social media for local marketing.
And what about the relationship between the two? And I'll give you an example maybe to set the scene. We work with an architect in Hereford. They've got a lovely website, lots of beautiful images, portfolio of their work, lots of detail there, gives you all the information about how you might work with them. But on social media, they have been posting a lot of on-site work behind the scenes. So here is some concrete being poured. Here's the scaffolding going up. Here's something we discovered on the build. All those sorts of things. The things you don't normally get to see when a building's happening, which they're taking anyway as a sort of an archive for the client, but also for themselves. But what they've started to do is actually they're building such a valuable amount of imagery there, but it's just stuck on Twitter or it's just stuck on Facebook. They're now bringing it back onto the website to form on one page like a gallery, an on-site gallery. So as they update photos, it's much more masonry board Pinterest style, where the photos will show up there. Because still a lot of people want to use the website. When they're referring to people, they'd rather take them to their own property rather than send them off to Twitter and sort of navigate. And also things get lost on the timeline. They just sort of disappear.
Isn't it something like if you open up the Facebook app on your phone, it's something ridiculous like 1,500 or 1,800 things that Facebook could show you in that split second. And it's got to show you 10 things to get you to start scrolling through to 20, 30, 40. There is so much content on there that doesn't get seen, and there's also this danger that you're not in complete control. We don't know what Facebook and Google and people are going to be doing in the future. You're posting that stuff onto somebody else's platform. If they then say, actually, we're going to charge businesses £50 a month, you're trapped. You have to go along with it and have to do it if you're reliant on that.
Yeah,
exactly. Why I come back to the websites and stuff and saying, actually, put the content out on social media. But if you grab that content and you put it on your website, you're in control. If the hosting company vanished or your web company held you to ransom and stuff, there are technicalities around that we mentioned earlier. But at the end of the day, it's still your entity. You should be able to pick it up and say to somebody else, right, you host my website. A small little glitch, but you're moving again. Facebook turned around and said, well, actually, business pages have got very poor visibility anyway these days, unless you're getting engagement, and you're going to get engagement by having those kind of behind the scenes pictures. We work with a lot of property estate agents, and it's saying to them, no one really wants to see the picture of a 3-bed semi, going up. They want to see the view out the back of the house, or the garden, or the amazing bedroom, or the stunning bathroom, you want to see the detail. You want the stuff that's engaging, not just the run-of-the-mill.
They would have these lovely videos as well. I think they even did drone footage in the house. So they'd fly the drone around from room to room. But one of the most interesting things, I think they were called Free Agent 247. I can't remember. We actually had them on the podcast a while back. One of the most interesting things they do is they would talk about how you might live in the property as well. So if you were commuting, so they might do a video on where you might commute to the train station and what coffee shops you might pass and restaurants and things like that, and what's in the area. And so it's much more about the lifestyle of you being there, living there, than just a functional features list of the house. And I really like that. They weren't just saying this is a house and technically listing out everything. They were describing what it's like to be in here, which you often might get from an estate agent in person, but that's just one-to-one. What was great about this, it was a video. They were either talking piece to camera like this, or they were having a narrated slideshow. And I just thought that added a lot more personality to what they were doing. If you found this podcast interesting, you might like my marketing club. Join to receive regular tips and advice on marketing, video and the web, so you can become more effective in business. Pro members get access to my live marketing webinars every month, plus all previous webinars, and that's over 1,000 minutes of content or more. You also get an audio version you can listen to while you walk the dog, do the washing up, or any chores around the house. There is exclusive discounts and perks, and you can find out more by visiting ratherinventive.com/club. That's ratherinventive.com/club. Bye.